As fate will have it, you clicked on my video. I am Josh13 and I make videos about the PlayStation VR2. And with my reviews, they all consist out of chapters. So don't go running anywhere. In this dystopian city, you are born in the lowest part of the food chain. But there's a chance to change all of that and rise in the ranks of Aaron City's finest. The elite force called Sky Chase. Discover different gangs and families. Are you ready to make it? Or are you gonna fight fate? Stride is highly inspired by freerunning, aka parkour, and it feels a lot like Mirror's Edge in VR, with a lot of gun gameplay, so you'll be sliding, jumping, shooting throughout the game. While you are met with a lovely lady that guides you to the story. While you are running and shooting through the levels, you can find colored bags that are upgrades that you can use for your weapons. Besides running through the city, you will also be running in cyberspace, where things will appear in front of you while you run. A thing I did have to point out that bothered me were the save points. They felt a bit random. Often you'll spawn far away from where you died, or when you are in cyberspace you will jump ahead. Enemies will also spawn right beside you, and those were not the only things, but more on that in the impression section. Ammo is not unlimited, so you need to keep an eye out for magazines that are scattered around the levels. There's also hacking involved, what can unlock a weapon or more upgrade bags. You can do all of this in 13 different levels. My stride are for those likes, subs and comments, but only fate will have it if you will. When I was younger, I looked into parkour and it seemed fun to do. While my only experience is with Mirror's Edge, Stride seemed like a fun game to play, but it's not bug free. The thing I walked in early in the game was grabbing things did not work the way I wanted to. Often grabbing things was two-handed effort. One hand to grab the surroundings, so you can grab it with your other hand. Another thing I found was the gliding suit that you gain in the game, how it does create alternate routes. I was not a fan of it. It was unreliable and often made me fall to my death. Combine this with the checkpoints that's far away from your mission and the dialogue you cannot skip, you might imagine it can create some frustration. I do like the concept of the game, because there's a lot of elements into Stride, and I had a lot of fun moments throwing people off the roof. One thing that's noticeable straight from the start is that you need to swing your arms in order to run. You don't have to go crazy with the swinging, because this will have no effect. If you want to slide, you physically have to duck, and you will jump by pressing X, and you will jump with the release of the X button. Circle is used for focus, basically slow down time for a short period. When you want to duck or stand, you use your right joystick. By moving it down you will duck and up to stand. There's also hacking involved, which you do by running a parkour or by flowing with a line to a certain point or do a puzzle. One thing I did not like was that you need to change your settings every time you start up the game. It did not remember my preferences. I like to use smooth turning and the default is snap turning. A thing I did enjoy was swinging like Spider-Man. When you see a hook or a drone, you need to jump towards it, and after you jump, you raise your hand towards the hook, then press and hold the trigger and the grip button. On your wrist, you will have two storage slots. Underneath your left arm, you will have your phone. A thing I found was that your own character's voice, Nick, sounded further away than the dialogue spoken at you at times, what gave me a disconnect with the character you're playing. Also, I was not the biggest fan of most voice actors in the game. I did like the female voice, Elizabeth. She sounded sweet and caring. The guns I found a bit lacking in their power, and the same goes for the hitting of your enemies. Overall, I think they could use an update. Because for me, it felt a bit muted and little variation. There is also background music what varies between soft and relaxing to thrilling, but fits the combat scenario at hand. But just like the rest of the sound, it can be a bit soft. With the graphics, there's nothing to brag about. It looks like most games that are released at the beginning of the PlayStation VR2. What did keep happening is that I glitched through the ladders when I tried to climb it. It's best to have a little bit of distance between you and what you're trying to climb. And what was a bit of a shame is that a lot looked the same. There was a lot of copy and pasting, what makes the game feel a lot smaller than it actually is. Something I also like to see an update of is your phone. It's a bit small to see what's going on and the placement is weird in my opinion. During my gameplay, I really needed to twist my arm in a strange position in order to have it where I wanted it. A thing that kept throwing me off was the jumping of your vision when you stand on or near a table. And with the focus, what is blue, I would have gone a different route. Personally, I would have gone for more of a transparent look. I would give this game a 6 out of 10. Stride is a fun game to explore, and because you have to move your arms to run, means you can work up a sweat. And something that always works well with shooters is slow motion, so I'm glad they've added this in their gameplay. Yet describing Stride is difficult. because they have put a lot of elements in their game. For example, you encounter wave shooter missions and there's a free roaming part where you have to do assignments, among others. It's an action-adventure shooter, but it feels a little bit chaotic, because the story can get lost in all those different approaches to the missions. Also, the mission objective could be made more obvious. Often I was searching where I needed to go in order to progress, and it led to some unnecessary deaths. I found that the hand-to-hand combat could use some improvement. Your punches, they lack power, and the enemies easily stood up after some rapid punches to the face. You're better off swinging your weapons. Strike has its flaws, but there's a lot of elements to keep you entertained. And you can reselect your missions from a map, so you can replay the fun ones again. Or you can go 100% completionist after you finish the campaign. I took a leap when I started the YouTube channel, and it's growing, and I can't have gotten this far without you. So, thank you.